All right, welcome to Frank Teaches DevOps. Frank Teaches DevOps. So, in this light tutorial, light video, I will be explaining or describing how what Terraform State is all about. Terraform State, all right? So, Terraform State, okay? So, let's quickly look at what Terraform Status is. So, Terraform State is in a layman way, all right, in a simple definition, Terraform state is about your configured infrastructure, right? Your configured infrastructure is Terraform state, and this configured infrastructure is saved in a file called terraform.tfstate. All right, terraform.tfstate. So let me just show us briefly. So you can see here I have my directory terraform.tfstate. So this is your state file. So the state file has the configuration of all your infrastructure you have already deployed um, to the cloud. All right. So by this definition, we shall say Terraform must store state about all your managed infrastructure and configuration. This state is used by Terraform to map real-world resources to your configuration, keep track of metadata, and to improve performance for larger infrastructures. This state is stored by default in a local file named Terraform. All right. So, in a simple sentence, Terraform state is about the configuration of your infrastructure already deployed in your cloud provider. All right. So let's go back to our terminal. On my terminal, I've already provisioned an EC2 instance to AWS. All right, and here is the state file. So if I do a cat terraform tf state, I'm going to see the entire content of my terraform state file. All right. However, this content is very bogus. It's very bogus in the sense that I don't get to see the the resources deployed individually. So to see those resources individually, I'm going to use a new command called Terraform State List. All right. So Terraform State List is going to list me all the resources I have provisioned in into the cloud on this file on the Terraform state file. So this all of these is coming from this file, right? So you can see I have elastic IP, I have EC2 instance, I have internet gateway, key pair, routable association, security group, subnet, and VPC. So these are all the infrastructure I've already deployed on my AWS. Okay. However, the idea behind this video is about how we manage this state. Okay, how we manage this state, not locally but remotely. All right, so remotely managing the state. Okay, the terraform state file. So as you can see, each time you say terraform apply, it creates this file locally. Let me do something. Let me try and destroy what I have. Destroy. Auto approve. Let me destroy what I have on the cloud, and I will delete this file. I'll delete that file so that I'll recreate it. I'll recreate it. I'll recreate it. All right. So let's pause the video while it's deleting. All right, great. As you can see, we've destroyed the resource. So if I should look at my the content of my Terraform state, if I we run this command terraform state list, it's going to return nothing because I've already deleted my entire infrastructure. I've destroyed. So if I do a cat on that file, terraform.tfstate, you see that everything is gone apart from just these liners. All right, everything is gone. So now let's do something. Let me show you something. I want to remove this file entirely. Terraform states, everything about Terraform states. All right. So now this file, that terraform.tfstate file gets generated each time you run terraform apply. So when you run terraform apply, that file gets generated. Terraform apply, where are you? Terraform apply. So I'm going to run it now. As you can see, the terraform.tfstate file is not there. So I'm going to run that file. I'm going to run it. So it takes some time. It takes some time. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll be right back when all of this is done. All right, thank you. The my infrastructure has been created. All right, it has been created using the terraform apply command. So let's check the state that has also been generated. You can see that automatically the moment I run terraform apply, this file gets generated. So if I check the content again, terraform state list, I should see all my infrastructure. Great. Now my catch here is, now I don't want to manage these states locally. All right, I want to use a backend concept, an AWS backend concept, to manage my states with the help of AWS S3. Okay, so I don't want this file to be created locally. I want this file to be created remotely, and there is a reason for that. All right, so let's look at. Okay, now what is a Terraform backend? Before we go into looking at managing Terraform states remotely, it will make sense we look at what is Terraform backend. So Terraform backend is used to implement um, Terraform is used to manage Terraform states remotely. Backends are responsible for storing state and providing an API for state locking. All right. So now there are two concepts here. We have Terraform State storage and Terraform State locking. So to implement Terraform State, all right, to manage your state locally, remotely, we use S3 bucket. Now, but to manage your S3 bucket and to restrict multiple access to your Terraform state file, we use a locking, we use DynamoDB table for state locking. I'm going to explain all of that, what that really means. So now let's look at this explanation. Now, from this diagram, I have two states. I have local states and I have remote states. Let me start with the local states. Now, here is admin one. Admin one runs Terraform apply and creates some Terraform script, and it runs Terraform apply to provision an EC2 instance. And automatically, the Terraform apply created a file called terraform.tfstate. All right. Now, this is admin one. Now, admin two cannot have access to this terraform.txt file because this file is local to admin 1. The same thing is applicable to admin 2. If admin 2 runs terraform apply, it's going to create a terraform.tfstate file, and that tfstate file is only local to admin 2, and so on and so forth. All right, so that's a problem. A problem in the sense that admin one, two, three are working as a team, but they can't work on a distributed or a centralized or a common infrastructure. All right, they can't work on a common infrastructure because this infrastructure is local to either of these admins. All right. Now look at it. Multiple team members cannot update the infrastructure as they don't have access to the state file. So these other members, they cannot update the infrastructure because they don't have access to the state file. So for them to be able to have access to this state file, um, Terraform come up with this concept called remote state. a remote state where this state file um, will be created and will be managed remotely. Managed remotely meaning that these three users will be able to have access to the state file. It doesn't matter who runs the Terraform apply, right? Anyone who runs the Terraform apply, automatically the state file gets saved on AWS S3. So let's look at using Terraform backend concept. We can use AWS S3 as the shared storage for state file, right? Now that has been settled. Now let's say for instance, admin one, admin two needs to run Terraform apply at the same time, all right? So admin one and admin two need to run Terraform apply at the same time, meaning that they need to write into the Terraform state file at the same time. So in the process of doing that, there is bound to be conflict, and the state file could get corrupted. The state file could get inconsistent content. Okay, so for we to avoid all of that, we use a concept called DynamoDB table. So DynamoDB table, we use a concept called state locking. Now, what state locking does is um, while admin one is running Terraform apply, right? um, the state file automatically locks itself using Terraform state lock. It applies a lock on the state file. Now, it applies a lock on the state file for any other request other than admin one coming into the state file. All right. When admin one is done with using sending the request to the state file, the state lock locks the TF state file for admin one not to write anything into it and opens it up for admin two to write into the file. All right, so this is how Terraform state lock prevents multiple users from writing into the state file concurrently. Let's look what they said here. All right. If two team members are running Terraform at the same time, you may run into race condition. Now, a race condition is when multiple processes try to access a single resource at the same time. There's bound to be a race condition. Okay, as multiple Terraform processes make concurrent updates to the state files, leading to conflict, data loss, and state file corruption. So for we to avoid all of these, we use a concept called state locking. All right. So in the state locking, we shall be using DynamoDB table to implement state locking. So that's that about state file. And then the next thing we need to do now, we need to go into how to implement state file. So I'm going to implement state file such that this file, you won't see this file on my local machine. Rather, this file will get deployed to AWS S3. AWS S3. All right. So for that, I'm going to spell out what we need for this process. Okay, for this task, um, I'm going to provision all of these. Okay, I'm going to be automating everything. All right. So I'm going to create an S3 bucket. Okay. These S3 buckets will be used to manage the state file. Then I'm also going to be creating a DynamoDB table, which will be used to manage the state locking. And I also create a Dynamo Backend S3 a Terraform Backend S3 used to implement the state file remotely. Remotely. Okay, so let's hop here. Let me mkdir, let me call it states. Okay, then I need to copy my provider only into the state because I need that to change directory into states. All right, so I have just my provider. Then I need to create a file called terraform.tf. Okay, now let's go onto our Google and see how we can create Terraform S3 buckets. Terraform S3, AWS S3 buckets. Okay, let's see that S3 buckets. Let's see what we need. S3 buckets. This S3 buckets and the bucket name. All right, so we also need to create a folder. A folder is here. We need to create a folder. Let me look for Control F folder. Subfolders. Okay, S3 buckets. Let me look for it. Okay, so quickly let's create that S3 bucket, and we also have to enable versioning. Let me just take something like this, something simple, something simple. Come over here, I'll paste it. Okay, so resources S3 bucket, S3 bucket. Let me call it demo BKT. This is demo BKT, and the bucket name, let me just call it as well. Bucket name will be demo BKT as well. That's my bucket name. Remove this. Um, just keep it simple. So I'm also enabling versioning. Versioning is true. Okay, I've created the bucket. This is the bucket. All right. So now I also need to create an S3 bucket object, which is let me close this, which is a folder, because we need a folder in all of this. So Terraform S3 object. So create an object. So where is it? An object. So let's see how to create an S3 bucket object. So that would be okay. All right. Let's take something simple as well. Let's take object. So copy this. So object is like a folder. So paste. It's like a folder. So resource, AWS S3 bucket objects, then demo, I would say demo obj. So that's demo obj. Then the folder name, I call it dev. All right. Then my bucket name, I'm going to recall my reference my bucket here, because I'm creating this object dev inside of this bucket, demo BKT. So this will be referencing your AWS bucket dot demo BKT. So that's it. That's it. Dot ID. That's ID. We don't need all of these. Sorry, we don't need all of these. We don't need all of these. Just keep it simple. So there is the object. So we've created the bucket and we've also created the object. So the next thing we need to do now is we need to go ahead to create a Dynamo table, a DynamoDB table, which we will use to manage the log states. But before we go into the log states, let's provision what we have already. Okay, so after this now, I may now need to go and set up my, what's it called, my backend AWS um, Terraform Terraform backend S3. Okay, so to set up my Terraform backend S3, all right. So backend type S3. Let's check. So I shall backend. All right. So this is what we need. This is how is declared. All right. So open this and paste it here. So bam bam bam. Okay, let me undo. Let me take it to the top. Take it to the top. Paste it there. All right. So my backend is here. So Terraform backend. Use the keyword backend is S3. Bucket name is my bucket name is demo bkt. All right, big demo bkt. Then the key will have to be my dev. All right, this is my dev. Okay, so the key has to be my dev. All right, so key will be dev slash terraform dot tf states. Okay, so here is the file. So dev here is the name of the object. All right, is the name of the object inside of my bucket. All right, terraform.tfstate. The region, my region is EU West 2, EU West 2, EU West 2. So this is all I need to do, right? So my backend is going to be managing my Terraform State file, and I'm going to be creating all of these, my S3 bucket, and also enabling versioning on my S3 bucket. And yeah, so we are all set. We are all set. The next thing I need to do now is just to create a small, oh, sorry, a small resource. Let me call it an EC2 instance. However, um, I have a file here. So let me open this file and look for EC2 instance. EC2, where are you? Okay, this is this. So let me just copy this. I want to deploy this resource. I want to manage this resource remotely. So go back to your state file. States. All right, so open your main.tf. So in my main.tf, this is what I'm going to do. I am doing this. Okay, I am pasting this. All right, let me give it a fresh name. um okay, demo states, demo states ec2. Okay, demo state ec2. I'm going to keep it very simple. I don't want because of I don't want a subnet key. I don't want all of these. I don't want this. Just simple. Is an instance that I won't be accessing. So I just want to show us how we can manage the states remotely. All right. So we are all set. We are all set. So let's say we are all set. So escape and save and quit. So as you can see, I don't have any terraform.tf state file locally. I also, if I go to my um, S3, if I go to my S3, I don't have, what's it called? Where's that file? Main.tf. I don't have, my bucket name is what? Demo bkt. I don't have a demo bkt. Let's check. Okay, all right, so I'll go ahead now and run terraform apply. So terraform initialize first. So if I search with the filter demo, there's nothing like demo even. Okay, so let's hop back and terraform. Let me initialize this my terraform script. Terraform init. Let's see, so I'm having some errors. All right, refreshing state, incorrect region. The bucket is not in EU West region um, at endpoints. Okay, okay, great. Let's do something. Vim main. Okay, let me block this out. Region. Okay, let me give this guy region as well. EU, EU West 2. All right, so let me save that. Save it and terraform initialize. Okay, great. Okay, okay, vim main. All right, so remove that. remove that, and also remove this should be problem. Terraform, I need, okay, great, we need the region. Okay, something has changed. All right, so it's telling us that we should run Terraform. I need migrate states because we've already initialized the backend. Sorry, I didn't show us. Successfully configure the backend S3. Terraform will automatically use this backend unless the backend configuration changes. So backend configuration has changed. So I need to run this command. Oh, sorry, not this command. I need to run this command. Terraform I need migrate state. All right, Terraform I need migrate state. Yeah, so now it's asking for we to enter the region for our S3 bucket and DynamoDB table. All right, so let me cancel this. Let me cancel that. Let me go back to my main file. Why isn't it asking us this? I gave it before. No, Terraform I need coming migrate state. Bucket is not in EU Est region. Okay, okay, one sec, one sec, one sec, one sec, one sec. Block it out. Let's do something. All right, Terraform, this is all set. So let me say Terraform plan. All right, Terraform init. We just change some things. Terraform migrate state. Okay, so it's asking us to enter the region EU West 2. West 2. It's not there. It's going to throw up that same error. Okay, okay, let's go back there and let me put that back. EU West 2. And mind you've already generated some files, which is .terraform.tfstate. So let me remove this .terraform.tfstate, everything, and we run terraform initialize. All right, let's see. Successful and blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, guys. So let's. I've seen my issue. We may have to separate the creation of the creation of the creation of. Sorry. Okay, we may have to separate these two creation. All right, the Terraform backend S3, and my bucket creation. Okay, so this has to come first before this. So for that, let me copy this out of my let me copy this out. Let me create a fresh file. Let me call it terraform dot, can call it backend.tf, backend.tf. All right, so in this file I'm going to make, okay, so meaning that my main.tf file is going to create for me this bucket and also this object. Okay, all right, so these are the two things I need to create uh before. Okay, so far we have nothing, so I'll go into my main.tf and delete these lines. I don't want this here. I don't want this here. Okay, okay, all right. So before then as well, I may want to back up my back end BKP so that Terraform doesn't see it. Okay, so I have these two files, main.tf and provider.tf. So my main.tf is going to create a bucket with the name demo bkt123, and an object as well, which is this. So I'll say terraform initialize, successful, then terraform apply, auto approve. Okay, if everything goes well, versioning. Let me go in there and remove the part of versioning. Okay, done the survey for that. All right, so apply this. All right, so this is going to create the bucket. It's going to create the bucket and the object. All right, it's going to create the bucket and the object, and also an EC2 instance. It's creating an EC2 instance. So let's be confirming all of these duplicates. Let's confirm all of these. EC2. Let's confirm all of these. All right. All right. Created. All right. Three object created. I should get an EC2 instance. Instances. I should get, yeah, which is this, just created. And I should get a bucket with the name demo. I should get a bucket that's been created. I should get a folder. Yes, a folder. I should get, yeah. So this is it. So version, great. Okay. All right. So we have a bucket already with the name demo bkt123. So at this juncture, we can now create our, what's it called? Now this state has been created locally. Okay. At this state now, we might now go ahead to create our back end. So I will rename the back end back to something like this. So the backend is now like this. So if I check the content of the backend, so this the content of the backend is embedded in Terraform block, and keyword backend S3. The bucket name is the name we just created, and the key is a folder with some files. The region is this. So all I need to do is to reinitialize. So Terraform initialize is telling me that it's now initializing the backend. Now it's telling me that there is an already existing terraform.tfstate file, which is this terraform.tfstate file locally. That, do you want to copy this file? Do you want to copy this state to the new S3 backend? Just enter yes. I said yes. I want to copy the file. But before we copy, let me show something on our S3 bucket. So far, we don't have that file. Dev, the file is not here. All right, that file is not here. All right. So let's go back to my demo bkt bucket. All right. So now let's say yes, yes, and hit enter. So now telling me that successfully configured backend S3 will automatically Terraform will automatically use the backend S3 to back unless the backend blah blah blah. All right. So now let's still check. Okay. So now let's do Terraform apply. Terraform apply auto approve. Okay, so this is going to apply the creation. So apply complete resource this. So no changes, infrastructure matches the configuration, everything is set. So let's now look. Now you can see that Terraform may have moved this state file from my local machine to S3 bucket, my local machine to S3 bucket. Now look at this now. At this point, this was the size of my S3 bucket. Sorry, this was the size of my terraform.tfstate file before I applied the backend S3 concept. After I applied backend S3 concept, that I was told that my configuration will be moved, will be copied to my S3. All right. I now check my TF state. Currently, my TF state is what? Zero. The size is zero. So if I come here now and check my demo BKT, check my dev, I should see um, my file. If I go to version, okay, let me rerun that one more time. Let me run it one more time. So if I do Terraform apply, Terraform apply, okay. So if check your folder now, we should see our terraform.tfstate. So you can see now we now have our terraform.tfstate. So this is now the real stuff. Okay, so these are state file. The type is state, tf state, and is being now managed. So my environment is now being managed. My tf state file is now being managed remotely. Okay, so even that when I remove this file, I remove everything about terraform.tfstate, and then if I do my Terraform apply one more time and then see what happens. Let's see. All right. So if I refresh, I go to my dev folder. I should have the third version. Go to versions. I should have the third version. Third should have come. Third should have come. All right. Let's check. All right. Let me destroy it. Terraform destroy. Destroy the resource and okay, destroy the resource will actually definitely break a lot of things. Okay, so let me just add something to my EC2 instance. Let me see what I can add. Let me see what I can add. All right, I can add a key pair. I can add a key pair. I can add a key pair. No security group. I don't want to. All right. So key pair is going to complain. All right. All right. All right. It's going to complain. I can just change the name, change the EC2 instance name. Let me call it demo EC2. Escape. Now run Terraform apply. So something should change. All right, it's making one changes. All right, there was one change, right? There was one change. So let's check. Do we have the state file? We don't have it locally. Now let's refresh and see what we have in our version. We should have the third versioning of this. So that's it. So you can see. So that's the third state. Okay. So far so good. We have been able to see how to manage our Terraform states file remotely using what's called the backend S3 concept. Okay, in the same way, we can also create a DynamoDB. Okay, let's create a DynamoDB and assign. So let me go to my main.tf, DynamoDB table. So if I come over here and I say Terraform S3 DynamoDB table. Okay, so my DynamoDB table will be used to manage my state lock. All right, so this is what I need to create. Um, yeah, so this is all I need. Copy this, bring it here, and all right, paste it. So my DynamoDB is dynamo table, demo tv, demo tv, demo tv. The name is demo tb123. Okay, demo tb123. Hash key will be lock id, lock id, capital D, sorry, lock id. I don't need all of this, these are not needed. Billing mode, provision, don't need this as well. So my attributes name has to be the same name as my hash key. So lock id, attribute s, close this, and I will close this. Okay, so what I will do now, I will still have to run terraform apply. So terraform apply, so this, oh sorry, okay, I've not used my, this is going to create the DynamoDB. So you see what's happening, it's creating dynamo db table. Okay, so let's see, want to be added. Let's see, so you just created one resources added. So if I go to DynamoDB, so duplicate this, I go to DynamoDB, DynamoDB, I should see a DynamoDB table already created. Okay, I should see table created. Okay, why is it? Oh, sorry, provisioning. Um, Provisioned billing mode. This should be here. Copy. This should be here. Open this file and come over here. Paste that. Okay, so let's recreate that file. Terraform apply. Terraform apply. All right, created. So if I come to my DynamoDB refresh, I should. Where are you? Sorry, this is dashboard. Cool. Okay, so let's check. Okay, update settings or can explore. These are the tables. You can explore items. So under explore items, I have my demo TB, right? Which we specify. So if I say Terraform States list, I should get all I have. So my, what's it called? This bucket name, DynamoDB. So let's check main.tf. So DynamoDB is 123. So I'm going to use this in my back end. All right, I'm going to use this name in my back end. So this is what I will do. I still have to go and check for backend S3. How do we use DynamoDB in your backend S3? So DynamoDB will be used for the state locking. So this is how it's defined. It's not defined here. DynamoDB underscore table. DynamoDB underscore table. Terraform backend DynamoDB. Okay, let me check this. Same thing. I think that should be DynamoDB underscore table. So that's it. Okay, so this will be open the back end. So this is your backend. So in my backend, I have to specify the DynamoDB. So that will be DynamoDB DynamoDB underscore table. So the value is demo tb123. All right, so this is how you manage your states. What's it called? Your Terraform state log. So I'll just run Terraform apply, Terraform reinitialize because we've made some changes. We've made some changes to our state file. Sorry. So I'll copy all of these, copy, paste it. All right, so we made changes to our state file, so that's fine. Then we run Terraform what? Apply. This should do the whole magic. So complete. Okay, so complete. So this, if we now go to refresh. So at this juncture, what's it called? The DynamoDB will be used to manage the state locking file, while um, uh, S3 will be used to manage the terraform.tfstate. So these are all my states so far. So thank you very much for your time. So at this juncture, we'll be able to implement remote state file. Thank you and see you in my next video edition. Thank you and have a nice day.